afternoon. My name is Faith Leach, and this is my persuasive speech. Is burning the American flag a valid form of protest? Under the First Amendment, burning the American flag is considered a peaceful form of protest and can be considered symbolic speech. However, just because you have the freedom to do it, does that make it the morally right thing to do? Think of how many men and women have died in fighting for America's freedom. Think of how many men and women have died in order for our troops to raise the flag on top of Mount Suribachi on the island of Iwo Jima during the island hopping campaign of World War II. Think of how many of our troops died during the Revolutionary War in order for America to form a more perfect union. How does burning the American flag in any way, shape, or form create a resolution to what you're trying to solve? Just because you have the freedom to burn the American flag, does that make it the morally right thing to do? Nor does it show what you are trying to protest or change. Symbolic speech might be protected under the First Amendment, but the difference between symbolic speech and desecration of the flag is like splitting hairs. Symbolic speech is a legal term of the United States law used to describe actions that purposefully and discernibly convey a particular message or statement to those viewing it. Desecration is the act of depriving something of its sacred character or disrespectful, contemptuous, or destructive treatment of that which is held to be sacred or holy by a group or individual. The United States flag is sacred to many people in the United States. America's armed forces fight to keep the flag and the freedom it stands for. It is a symbol of freedom to those who are oppressed and is a rallying cry to our troops who have lost hope. For example, out of all the national symbols, the only one you can burn or disfigure in any way is the American flag. What would happen if you killed a bald eagle? What would happen if you were to kill a rose? What would happen if you were to disfigure the Statue of Liberty? If you were to kill a bald eagle, it would be a $5,000 fine or a year in jail with a $10,000 bail. If you were to disfigure the Statue of Liberty, it would be a $7,000 fine or 2 years in jail. As you can see, there are punishments in place for disfiguring our national symbols. If you were to destroy any other symbol, there would be a punishment. However, if you were to destroy or disfigure the American flag, there is no punishment. For example, the first time the American flag was burned was in 1984 by Gregory Lee Johnson. Johnson broke state law and burned the American flag at the Republican Convention in Dallas. He burned the American flag to protest laws Ronald Reagan wanted to pass. He was fined $3,000 and sentenced to 1 year in jail. This is Johnson after being the first person to burn the American flag. Since the Johnson flag burning, many Americans have burned the American flag as a form of protest. However, before the Johnson flag burning, it was illegal to burn the American flag. Since 1989, after the Johnson flag burning, Congress and the Supreme Court recognized that it was a constitutionally protected right to burn the American flag. Just because it is illegal, does that make it the right thing to do? Nor does it solve the problems you are trying to fix or protest for? No matter what you're protesting or trying to change, is there one thing you can name that constitutes burning the American flag? When you burn the American flag, you're dishonoring the men and women who have died to keep America free. Next time you see someone burning or disfiguring an American flag, remember, is what they're doing the morally right thing to do? Are they going to solve a problem or fix whatever problem they're protesting or trying to change?